evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Friday, the 5th of November, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Windies knocked out of T20 World Cup, and in our feature for this evening, horse racing icon passes. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
Nevis is safe. Nevis is ready to welcome the old, the young, and the very young like me. We are doing our best so you can enjoy your rest. The sun, sea, and sand of our beautiful shores awaits you.
Well, I'm back, and we start with some sad news in cricket. The Windies team was unceremoniously dumped out of a possible semi-final spot in the ongoing T20 World Cup series when they were beaten by lowly placed Sri Lanka on Thursday, 4th November. Skipper Pollard won the toss and surprisingly placed the opposition into bat first on the same pitch that India had scored 210 runs on a day earlier. The Sri Lankans made the best use of the pitch, losing their first wicket at 42, but not losing another until the score was 133. They eventually lost a third with the score on 179 and got to an imposing 189 for free at the end of their 20 allotted overs. The Windies team knew that the target was above what they would have hoped for and started disastrously in response. By the second over, both openers in Evan Lewis and Chris Gayle were already back in the hut with the score on 10. Wickets fell at regular intervals, but two bright, youthful stars came to the party. Vice-captain Nicholas Pooran and Shimron Hetmyer both played excellent hands, with Hetmyer trying his utmost towards the end to pull off the impossible. But the Windies fell short by 20 runs and joined Sri Lanka on the list of teams going home early. Outside of those two batsmen, only extras got into double figures with 11. Summarized scores: Sri Lanka 189 for free, Alazanka 68, Nissanka 51, beat West Indies 169 for 8, Hetmyer 81 not out, Pooran 46, Haranga picked up 2 for 19 and Fernando 2 for 24. Sri Lanka won by 20 runs. Meanwhile, the Cricket West Indies selection panel yesterday announced the West Indies squad to tour Sri Lanka. The selection panel named one uncapped player in the 15-member squad, Jeremy Solozano, the left-handed opening batsman, following two recent three-day best versus best matches and training sessions at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in Antigua. Both test matches will be played at the Gali International Stadium. West Indies will have a 4-day warm-up match in Colombo from November 14th to the 17th. The test matches will follow on November 21st to the 25th and November 29th to December 3rd. The series is the second of 6 series, 3 at home and 3 away, that the West Indies will play in the 2021 to 2023 ICC World Test Championship. The full squad reads: Craig Brathwaite captain, Jermaine Blackwood vice-captain, Nkrumah Bonner, Ruston Chase, Rakeem Cornwall, Joshua Da Silva, Shannon Gabriel, Jason Holder, Shai Hope, Kyle Mayers, Veerasamy Permaul, Kemar Roach, Jaden Seals, Jeremiah Solozano, and Jomel Warrican. Sadly, as you would note, there's no Kyron Powell in that lineup. By the way, no Alzari Joseph, no Shamar Brooks as well. Well, we'll take a break, and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
Breathe. Release. Feel. Transform. Embrace.
Well, I'm back, and tonight horse racing is in the spotlight. Well, not on the track, but some more sad news. Nevis has received news has been received of the passing of Mr. Spencer Howell. He was one of the early pioneers of horse racing on Nevis and would have served the Nevis Turf and Jockey Club with distinction over the years. Mr. Howell, who was 89, passed away yesterday, Thursday, the 4th of November. From the NTV Sports page, we extend condolences to the entire family. Tonight, we bring excerpts from the last interview we conducted with Mr. Howell. I'm here with the Venerable Spencer Howell. I almost said Honorable Spencer Howell, but maybe one of these days we might still get that nomenclature attached to his name. Mr. Howell, how are you today?
I am fair enough, thank you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about horse racing. I know that that's the sport you love, maybe more than any other. Talk to us a little bit about your feelings as to what's going on, or better put, what's not going on with horse racing nowadays.
Well, it's really what's not going on. I could think back of horse racing way back when I was a boy. I used to go with my father. He was in the horse racing business in the good old days. In the good old days when they had horse racing pretty much all over Nevis. But believe it or not, it was a summer sport. It was a sport that every August Monday they had a horse race. And I don't know what has happened, but what I do know is that we moved from one phase to the next, to the next, to the next. And then back in 1968, that's when horse racing became more or less official in Nevis. That was the beginning of the formation of the Nevis Turf and Jockey Club.
Well, let's take a pin, Mr. Howell. For the benefit of the younger ones, talk us through some of the different venues. I mean, when I was growing up, I heard about Brambouche and those kind of names. Talk to us about where some of the horse race meets were held previously prior to even Indian Castle.
I was trying to do a little island-wide racetrack places the other day. And it starts with a place called, I'm sure very few people in Nevis now have ever heard the name, a place called Betnowell. Betnowell is a section of Lower Bart village near where the radio station is.
Close to Van Radio then?
Close to Van Radio. Betnowell was the big racetrack back in the days. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But that was the days when the elites of Nevis who were into horse racing, that's where they raced. Then as we go south from there was a racetrack at Prospect, where the gas station, the place with the gas, what do you call that over there?
At Prospect.
Yeah. We have the...
Not Nevlek.
No.
Gas station.
Over the gas, along the coast road, near the...
Oh, you're talking about over at the landfill, close to the landfill.
Close to the landfill.
Okay.
There was a racetrack there.
By the gas place.
Yes, Then there was a racetrack at Mardens, that's the bottom part of Brown Hill.
Okay.
Then there was a racetrack on the southern end of Brown Hill, a place called, it was known as the Mass Tree Track.
So there were at least two venues in Brown Hill?
There were at least two venues in Brown Hill. Then there was a track at Indian Castle.
Yeah, okay.
And
before the one that we know now?
Yes,
Okay.
there was a track at Indian Castle. And from Indian Castle, there was a track at Butler's, known as the Well Path. That's a road which comes up from the sea up to
Okay.
Butler's village.
Okay.
There was a racetrack there. Then there was a race at Madden's Estate, a racetrack at Madden's Estate. There was a racetrack at Bambouche. You
That's the
asked
one we
about
talked about,
Bambouche.
Bambouche. That's over by
Bambouche
Newcastle,
is
right?
where the airport now is.
Okay.
There was a racetrack there. Then the other side of the racetrack, they had to move that after they brought in the racetrack. They moved over to the other side of the road, and that was the Newcastle racetrack. And those were basically the racetracks in Nevis, except, and safe to say, there was always horse racing down at Pinnis Beach,
Oh, okay.
from down the bottom of Pinnis Road right down to the Pinnis Beach Hotel.
Okay.
There was a racetrack there. Then on the other side of the town, there was a racetrack from Low Street right down to the big pond at Bart Village.
Wow.
Then in those days there was the old pier on stilts, and so you actually rode under the pier,
Wow.
and you
Okay.
rode from the racetrack was from.
Did a lot of people go to those races in those early days?
Yes. I mean, people always wanted some entertainment, something to do, and so yes.
And so
And in those days, you see, to answer that question, I'll probably say you had, in a way, more interest in that a lot of people the horse was the means of transport, and a lot more people had horses
Got you.
and donkeys, and so
So they had donkey races
horse
too.
race and donkey race was simultaneous. Yeah.
No. Talk to me about, you said 1968, we formally had an association formed, and so did that simultaneously line up with the racetrack being officially back at Indian Castle around that same time?
Just soon after that, yes, that we moved back to Indian Castle.
Now, you know the situation with Indian Castle. Your thoughts on... Oh, well, there's nothing going on there.
Because what happened, we have had several forms of management of the Nevis Stuff and Jockey Club, including a lot of youngsters who got involved in racing, which was a very good thing. But then some of the youngsters, they thought they know it all. And I think one of their problems was they tried to get rid of the oldsters who could give the better advice.
Okay.
And there are lots and lots of things that went wrong, and they would not heed any advice. And so the track went down the hill to the extent that they precipitated it by got a lot of stuff thrown on the track without any proper advice. So we had a track. You don't have a track anymore. You've just got a lot of stone and brush and debris thrown all over down there. And even the stables that were there, they were pulled down by the last set of people who tried to run the track. And so that's where racing has gone to.
Well, that's our package for this evening and indeed for the week. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and a sacrifice. Have a good night and a great weekend.